across Sudan again today, calling for the resignation of President Omar al Bashir. Activists said police fired tear gas and automatic weapons to break up crowds. The unrest shows no sign of dying down despite the brutal crackdown, including an attack inside a hospital this week as security officers chased protesters inside, opening fire. Amnesty International has condemned it as an outrageous violation of international law. From Sudan, Yusra El Bagir has exclusive pictures showing that attack, and be warned, some may find the images upsetting.
Cries of resistance on the streets of Omdurman. The largest peaceful demonstration against Sudanese dictator Omar al Bashir to date had a very simple message. The regime must go. Security forces responded with CS gas and live ammunition. But worse was to come. The wounded were rushed here to Omdurman's teaching hospital. What happens next is shocking, even by the standards of this regime.
تخيلوا بس في العالم في شرطة بتخش جوا المستشفى وتضرب رصاص حي جوا المستشفى مازالهم.
Firing off live ammunition and tear gas as they go, plainclothes security and uniformed militia begin to storm the hospital. Men in civilian clothes carrying whips and riot shields are seen kicking and driving forward what seems to be a prisoner. Another uniformed squad have automatic rifles and gas grenade launchers. And two then appear to fire gas up towards the balconies where medical staff have gathered. Inside the hospital, it's pandemonium. Clouds of chemicals begin to choke the walls. A medic screams at the camera, but you can't hear a word over the hiss of oxygen tanks being emptied directly into the room. A desperate attempt to clear out the CS gas. Outside, the chaos continues. Other medical facilities now come under assault. Volleys of gas grenades keep flying in, driving back this family who'd come to pick up the body of a relative shot down by security forces.
They start to actually threaten us, to kill us and our patients even. The security forces came inside, shooting even inside the resuscitation area where the critically ill patients are there. So this is unacceptable.
3 people died in Omdurman that day, and scores were wounded. Human rights groups condemn the assault as a flagrant violation of international law. So far, the international community has said nothing. In attacking a hospital and seemingly getting away with it, the regime is sending the Sudanese people a message. We can cross any red line we wish. We are capable of anything.
Well, joining me now from Nairobi is Saif Magango of Amnesty International. Could we begin just with what happened in the hospital, which your organisation says is is an outrageous violation of international law. Why specifically is it a violation of international law?
Absolutely, it is. It is not allowed under international law to attack hospitals. Patients in hospitals are to be taken care of. There are people who have been injured and they need treatment. They are not combatants. They are not in any way a threat to the state, and they should not have been attacked. This is clearly an excess in international law and something that really is heart-wrenching for many people who have seen it. And it is clearly, it shows that this government is intent on cracking down and repressing its people as a way to getting out of this crisis.
If protesters who are trying to bring down the president seek shelter in a hospital, what are the authorities supposed to do?
Well, I think the people who seek shelter in hospitals are injured people. There's no evidence at all that anyone had hidden in that hospital. And remember that these people were protesting peacefully. It is the authorities, it is the security forces that started shooting gas into the crowds and shooting at them with live ammunition. So there is no doubt at all that if people who are taking part in these protests and demonstrations were peaceful.
What do you want to see the outside world doing with regard to Sudan? I mean, it's getting virtually no attention at all on the world stage.
Well, the world is occupied with so many things, Brexit in the UK, the border wall in the United States and many other places. But please, I think it would be totally wrong for the world to forget and abandon the people of Sudan at such a critical juncture when their human rights are being totally violated by the government that is meant to protect them.
Saif Magango, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Catherine.
Thank you.
Thanks.